morning. It is, I don't know the date, the 19th maybe of November. I'm just going to record a quick chatty little video about The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. This, if you're not familiar with it, is a course in discovering and recovering your creative self. It's like old, 30th anniversary. I say old. 30 is not old. Trying actively to unlearn that idea. I'm sorry to all my friends who are 30 or over. I'm not calling you old. At first, when I started this thing, so I started it back in January, and I ran, why did a 12-week course take you almost 12 months? And I know that's embarrassing. It's fine. But I started out like highlighting stuff because like I bought this book and if here's the thing, if I want to annotate a book, I'm gonna annotate a book. So I started out highlighting things and like color coding and everything. But here's the thing, it didn't really resonate with me. Like some parts did. That's why I started highlighting. But then as time went on, I stopped. And this felt more like a chore than anything else. I suppose I should do a brief introduction to The Artist's Way and what it really is. It's a 12-week course, and it's heavily focused on spirituality and the links to creativity that spirituality has. And the two main tools you use are the artist state and the morning pages. And morning pages have been all over the internet for so long. It's when you write 3 full pages of stream of consciousness thinking. Like first thing in the morning, that's how like the rules go. And the artist state, which is where you take an hour or 2 out of your week to do something creative that is like out of your ordinary. Like maybe you go to a museum or you do something out of the ordinary to feed your inner artist child. I'll say that's one thing I did enjoy about this book was the focus on the inner child, because that's something I'm working on in like therapy and with my Sangha, my like Buddhist, Sangha is Buddhist church basically. So I appreciate the focus on the inner child. What I didn't appreciate as much was the focus on God. And here's the thing. At the beginning of the book, it does say, whenever I use the word God, substitute it for like a word that fits in better with your belief. If you don't believe in God, like use the universe, use like the great force of creativity, do what works for you. But even so, reading the book, and even when I was trying to substitute words for like for example, like the universe, when I was trying to sub in the universe, every time she said God, it didn't really hit the same way. Like, here's the thing, I've got religious trauma, don't we all? Maybe we don't all have religious trauma, but I grew up in a tradition that was very strict and very much like, I don't know how to say it. It was very much about the basement man, like you are never as good as you will be when you're dead and like perfected. And that, first of all, is a super harmful theology. Like, but I'm not here to talk about why my upbringing was harmful to my mental health as a queer person. So anyways, The Artist's Way. It goes through 12 weeks, and in each week you recover a sense of something, I believe. I don't remember the first couple chapters because, like I said, it took me 5 ever to do this. Week 1 is recovering a sense of safety. 2, identity. 3, power. 4, integrity. 5, possibility. 6, abundance. 7, connection. 9, compassion. 10, self-protection. 11, autonomy. And 12, a sense of faith. And then there's a bunch of appendices, which are cool, but like, I don't know. Well, I think there's some really valuable principles in here that are really helpful to a lot of people. Some of them were helpful to me as well, but overall, it didn't like resonate with me the way I hoped it would resonate, because I've seen so many like YouTube vlogs talking about how like the Artist's Way changed my life, and it did not change mine. Okay, week 8. At the end of each chapter in The Artist's Way, you have the like, for chapter 8, it was like, we did a goal search, and then like, I don't know, we talked about like how to set goals, and then like the steps to like naming your dream, the goal that signifies the accomplishment of said dream, and then like just going through some basic goal setting principles, which maybe that's why I like this chapter so much, because it was something that I don't want to say that I actually cared about, because I do actually care about creativity, but like I love goal setting and productivity. I know some people hate it and it's useless to them, but I think a lot about goals and how to reach them. And I am trying to be more focused on the journey than the destination. Because yes, it's destination oriented, but I think it's more about the journey you take to get there, like the systems you have in place. It was like, it happened. This book happened to me. I went through it. It was not amazing. I would say that if you are also in a place of like spiritual discovery like I am, and you are moving away from a heavily Christian tradition, this may not be the best book for you. I don't know if Julia Cameron is Christian, but the focus on so much God just felt very Christian to me. And like, that's okay. I'm not bashing on Christianity. I think everyone deserves respect. So, anyways, I like the question, how much time do you allot to fun? There were some good bits in here. And maybe if I had been more diligent at doing my morning pages and actually getting stuff out of this, more than just reading a chapter every week or every couple of months, it would have been more helpful to me. But personally, I did not vibe. Part of the reason why I didn't ever do the morning pages was because I never felt like I had the time in the morning, and I love my mornings, but I spent so much of my morning time the past year stressing about getting to work on time. I think maybe if I'd actually done the morning pages, it would have been more transformative, but I didn't. So I may revisit this in a future time when I'm not feeling so fragile from religion. Like, I think if I moved out of the cultural hotspots of my religion, maybe that would be good for me, and maybe then I can engage with the ideas of God and creativity as a godly force more healthily, if that makes sense. Anyways, I give The Artist's Way 2.5 stars. Like, there were good parts, and I'm not going to give it, like, a 1. But, like, I think a solid 50% is, like, of any given rating is pretty okay. Because I think I'm a spiritual person. I just don't think I'm a Christian spiritual person, and this felt very Christian. It felt, and maybe not Christian, but very woo-wooey, you know? I quite literally finished this like 10 minutes ago, or 10 minutes before I started recording. Yeah, I think there are good parts in here, but I think if I were to do it again, I would try and restructure it more. Maybe do it on Kindle, and like, because I have a copy of the book on Kindle as well. I got it for pretty cheap on Kindle. I just think it would be more helpful if I could if I jumped around more. Like, I understand like why it is in the order it's in, because it's like ideas, like it builds upon itself. But some weeks I don't think I needed like a sense of power in week 3. It just did not feel right to me. I'm just rambling. I didn't like it very much. I wish I did though. Okay, hi. This is Rin from the future, if you didn't notice the outfit change. It is December 13th, so almost a full month after I recorded this video. And that means, yes, it has been sitting in my dock for a while, but I feel like I was a little unfair to The Artist's Way in this video. Because I was like, I started out with it didn't really resonate with me, and while it's true that a lot of it did not resonate with me, there are a few things that have stuck with me. First, I love the artist dates. I think they're such a good idea. I think they are such a helpful way to like play and to frame your life around playing and being creative. So I think that's a really valuable thing. The idea of synchronicity, of two things happening kind of almost simultaneously for like a reason, has stuck with me, especially because since I like left my high demand Christian religion tradition, I have kind of like given up on the idea, like, and not even like consciously, but I've given up on the idea that like there was a hand moving things into place. And I still don't like that as like a way that life functions. That's just not for me. But I like the idea that there is a force in the universe for good that is trying to make good things happen for us. Like, that is comforting to me. A third thing that stuck with me from The Artist's Way is this idea of recovering like your inner child and your inner child artist. Just the idea of having an inner artist child and along with my inner child is like really cute and wholesome to me. I think it's really important that I connect with like things young Rin like to do, young CK like to do, to be creative, in addition to healing like those inner child wounds that I have, because your inner artist child also has wounds. So those are the 3 concepts that probably resonated with me the most from this book, that have like stuck with me. It took me 12 months, and the things that stuck with me are the artist state, synchronicity. I don't know how to say it anymore. And inner artist child. So I think overall, if you are like, oh, I need to do The Artist's Way, but you also came from a high demand Christian tradition and you're worried about that, then just like approach it with care and take what sparks joy and leave what doesn't, right? Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time in watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and if you've done The Artist's Way, let me know what you thought of it and what you think was valuable to you, especially if you're in a similar position to me. What are other things you pulled from The Artist's Way that is not just God is the great creator, which like, no shame to you if you believe that, but as for me, I'm like, I think the universe is the great creator, and I acknowledge that she does tell you to substitute stuff, but she always called it God, and that made it really hard for the book to resonate with me, just because what's on the page was not what matched what in my head. So anyways, thank you again. I'll stop talking now. I'll let you get on to the next set of YouTube videos, but thanks for watching. I really appreciate it.